I very, very, very much commend you for working with younger students. I used to work in a church daycare with 2-year-olds, and I loved it. That's my favorite age. It was amazing. However, I wasn't responsible for teaching them how to go to the bathroom or really much of anything. What we did work, skills like, hey, we're sharing toys. Hey, but remember they're 2, they're not older pre-K. And so to have to kind of take on that responsibility, because I only saw my 2-year-olds for an hour every Sunday. And so for you to take on that responsibility of teaching them these life skills that eventually hopefully make it all the way up to secondary education where I'm at, I think is amazing. You're doing a great job. I love the idea of making a lesson about what is polite behavior and what is not polite behavior. Especially when you talk about it not just being words. I think it's neat that you're going to work on analyzing differences, hey, this is polite behavior, this is not polite behavior. And so they can kind of start to categorize it. You mentioned books and videos and coloring pages. I think another one, especially if we're talking about categorizing, might honestly just be I don't want to say flashcards, that sounds very adulty, but picture cards, hey, pushing in a chair, that'll be a good thing. Or stealing a toy and the kid's crying, put that in a bad category. So polite and polite. So having visual aids that they can work on categorizing might also be a fun activity too. I like that you not only want them to analyze but also model that behavior. Sorry, that sounded weird. Such as saying please and thank you. I like your idea of having both a story and a role-playing activity and a coloring activity, because I mentioned this as well in Ashley's video that students learn differently, and so it's so important to have multiple ways of reaching students, because they might not sit still for a video, or they might doze off. Sorry, just dropped my pen. They might doze off during a video. As far as role playing goes, they might be too shy to practice role playing with other students, but they can categorize it in a sorting activity, or they can color it out, and so they might be able to understand it. They might be able to understand it without actually verbally role playing it. And so I like that you have multiple ways for them to get the same information, because it is important information. I like the book you chose, because I don't work with younger kids, at least not anymore, and I never worked on them. I worked with them at such a such long intervals. Ooh, sorry, I'm getting tired. And so I like the book you chose, especially as I now have a 2-year-old, and we're slowly working on things. One of the things I was looking up about teaching him behaviors is hey, they might not get it until it's modeled to them, and one of the best ways we can model things to them is through books, when they see either people like them in the book or animals they like. My son started hitting a little bit, which is totally normal for 2-year-olds, but as a parent you're oh my gosh, please stop. And so we have monkeys are his favorite animal. So we have a book called, we actually have 2 books, Grumpy Monkey, and what was the other one? Something about monkey having feelings. And so even though it's a slow process, he loves these books, and we can go through it with him, the beginning of the monkey feelings book Calm Down Monkey, that's it, Calm Down Monkey. We can say, hey, he'll be ice cream, because the monkey drops his ice cream on the first page, and we're is the monkey sad? And he's sad, and so he's slowly getting it, and we're working on those calm down strategies. And so I think it's great that you chose a book that has animals that they love to look at to get their attention, and then talk about such an important topic, such as being polite to other students. And I like that you mentioned that you're working on sharing already in preschool, so having a lesson like this, just to come in and kind of like support teachers so they're not just like, hey, we're practicing sharing all the time. Like sometimes students listen to an outside adult better than a teacher they see every day. And so just kind of like supporting what teachers are already doing in the classroom, I think is great.